Hello to everybody out there in this great big world. Yes, this is your brother Dana coming to you from the city of Chicago. Tonight, the deep freeze of Chicago. You know, I told my mom today in Minnesota it's supposed to be 50 below wind chill. And I say it over and over again. It does not make sense to me to live in a location where it's warmer for you to jump into your deep freeze and spend the night than it is to go outside. But hey, to those that love that deep freeze cold, blessings to you. But a shalom to all of you, my Hebrew family members. And tonight's video is really because you are heavy on my heart. Although today, I know to all of us, it was not a surprise to the verdict to acquit President Donald Trump. And now all of those individuals that were too afraid to find him guilty are now trying to ride this fence by saying, well, he was really guilty, but unfortunately this gap in the law or this in the law excuses him by default, which makes me so angry because I know of personally hundreds of young men who are now older men that I knew for those 16 years while I went to the Cook County Jail, which has been almost 10 years ago. Many of them locked up because of nothing. To see young men dead because they perceived that individual to have a gun in his hand, to have a gun in his pocket. And not only is it bad enough to watch a precious life being snuffed out because of hatred and white supremacy, but then the court system on a technicality or a loophole in the law for white supremacy allows the officer, the murderer, to go free. And even though tonight my heart is heavy because if I am at this place of just an anger to one more massive injustice being overlooked, being excused. And yet, even during this time, their defense was to use you, my Hebrew sisters, as animals and beasts, savages. And so my heart is heavy tonight because I can't imagine again how it must feel for you to see over and over and over and over and over, always an excuse for white supremacy. And so I went and looked up, and there are way more verses in the Bible about justice than there are of homosexuality as well as abortion. And let's even include other adulterous sins mentioned in the Bible. And tonight's acquittal is not overseen by the Most High Yah. Because the deeper the injustice that my white evangelical family members continue to do, only deepens the vengeance or the judgment of the Most High Yah, God. And so, Isaiah 1:17 said, learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, bring justice to the fatherless, and please the widow's cause. Micah 6:8 says, he has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Most High Yah require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with the Most High Yah. Luke 11:42, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ said this, but woe to you Pharisees, you white evangelicals, those who worship and serve the God of white superiority, for you tithe mint and rue and every herb, and yet you neglect justice and the love of God. These you ought to have done without neglecting the others. Leviticus 19:15, you shall do no injustice in court. You shall not be partial to the poor, to those that had skin that you called black, or defer to the great. But in righteousness shall you judge your neighbor. 2 Chronicles 19:7, let the fear of the Lord or the Most High Yah be upon you. Be careful what you do, for there is no injustice with the Lord our God, the Most High Yah. And Romans in the New Testament, for those of my evangelical family members that in most cases dismiss the Old Testament, Romans chapter 9:14 backs up 2 Chronicles 19:7 when it says, what shall we say then? Is there injustice on God's part? No way. So tonight I come to you, my Hebrew family members, with a heavy heart, but I rejoice to know that your God, the Most High Yah, my God now, will make sure that justice will be served. And that it's okay for me to be angry because I know Yeshua HaMashiach was angry. And even as I was taught in Christianity that God's anger that burned against sin and unfairness and injustice because of the fall of Adam and then affecting us all caused him to send his own son. So I sit here tonight feeling okay that I'm angry at the injustice. And I'm heavy-hearted because you, my Hebrew family members, once again suffer a twofold blow. White supremacy reigns. Our Hebrew sisters, queens, were showcased as savages. And yet, the real savages, you could say. You know, it marvels me that the officer, and I wasn't planning on sharing this, but you know, to you, my white evangelical family members, hopefully one day you'll get to this point of watching my videos and maybe even to the very end. But there is a black officer, and please forgive me right now that I lost his name. I was looking it up. But do you know that over and over during this trial, they referred to him as the officer who saved the capital and many lives from being killed. And do you know that black man, that black officer was seen by all of those that were raiding that capital as the enemy, as well as all of those who follow Trump, as well as those who continue to serve Christianity and white superiority. That man who you called the savage, the one that you are trying to protect yourself from. But yet in this very moment, as it is over and over, but you don't see it, it was the black man. It was the man that you have referred to as a savage, as an enemy, the one to be afraid of. It was he that has been credited for saving the lives and the capital from your very own. And yet tonight, you don't recognize that. And yet through this trial, you reinforced once again who the savages are and who the upright are. But one last thing that is very unique about what took place through this impeachment was that the whole world has now truly been exposed to the truth of America. That it is not the melting pot. It is, if you are of a Caucasian color and you come from a Caucasian European land, you're welcome into this melting pot. But all the kettles I've ever seen are black. And you, my black brothers and sisters, were never meant to be a part of the melting pot. You were to be the part that holds it all together, which we know is true. The one that takes all the flame. The one that takes the direct hit. But yet the very individuals that created the pot, the nation of America, and yet over and over again, my people refuse to see this. The Most High Yah will not overlook the injustice. And so even though my heart is heavy, as I have shared tonight, I also rejoice because I know we are in the final stages where those who I have grown to love dearly, even more than my blood family, will be able to put those crowns of royalty back onto your head. And then I get to dwell with you, and I tell you what, already you've been a blessing in my life. Nothing's holding me from going back. I don't owe anybody anything except for the Most High Yah. But I say that to share that dwelling with you, my Hebrew family members, is the best thing that has ever happened to me and is such a blessing in my life. And there's no way I desire to go back to where I came from. You are, I'm stuck on you like white on rice. Let's put it that way. So, all right, my Hebrew family members, appreciate you. I love you. I admire you. And I just wanted you to know that tonight I really had you on my heart. And I hope and I know that the Most High Yah shall rise you up and give you the strength that you need. So until we talk again, shalom, shalom, and from Chicago, good night.